It's story time.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? My neighbor? I'm glad we're together again.
Welcome back to the story time. I am the Bespoke Gentleman. Before we get started with today's story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, the Bespoke Gentleman, where we cover and talk about a lot of topics like stories. So, yeah, let's get to it. This story happened back in the 80s. My little sister told this story. This is, I want to say, around 1988, maybe, 88, 89. Anyway, I have 4 brothers, 4 sisters. And this happened with 2 of my sisters. We lived back in Smyrna back in the day. My father, he's a fireman, so he would work 24-hour shifts, so he wasn't home. And me and 7 of my other siblings, this is 9 of us total, we were all at school, different variations of grades, but we were all at school. And so it was just my youngest sister, who was 1 at the time, and I think my second youngest sister, who might have been 3, almost 4 at the time. And so they were at home with my mother. And, this is, like I said, it's back in the 80s. It was different back in the 80s. My mother was at home, and she had to go to the store real quick for something she needed for the house. And she didn't feel like taking my sister, so she told me, y'all just keep on playing. Like I said, this is back in the 80s. We built different back then. So I said, y'all just keep on playing. She made sure everything was closed up, locked the door, and she got in the car and she left, not knowing that someone's watching the house. Now, this is a whole different story. I'll tell the story another time. There was a man in our neighborhood who was actually a pedophile, who actually later was arrested. We actually saw him get arrested by the police. We saw the undercover cops pull up and arrest him. So my mother said, tell my little sisters, y'all stay here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm run to the store real quick, and I'll be right back. So she goes, she locks the door, and she gets in the car and runs down the street. I mean, it was like a little corner store. It was maybe a mile and a half down the road, quick little trip. So she goes and she heads to the store. Now, my 2 younger sisters, they were playing in the living room at the front of the house. And at the very front of the house, you had 2 ways in the living room. You had the kitchen that was right towards the back of the living room, and on the side of the living room there was a hallway. And down that hallway, when you first get down the hallway, there was a bathroom, and then there was my sister's room, my 2 older sisters' room, the first one and the second one, and then the room that me and my brother shared was at the very end of that particular hallway. And so my sister's in the living room playing, and so my second younger sister said she heard something coming from our room. So while my younger sister was in there just kind of playing, she gets up and she goes into the back room. Now, how this room was designed, when you first walk into our old bedroom, because how it was set up, you don't see the person walking into the door, into the room, because there was a wall blocking it. And so my sister, she kind of sneaks into the room, and she kind of around the corner towards our window, and she saw that our window was opened, and she saw a man's foot already inside the window, halfway inside the house, and he was slowly backing in. He didn't see her, so she saw this and she didn't say anything. She walked quietly but quickly back to the living room, picked up my youngest sister, and they went, and right there at the front door, at the front of the house, there was a coat closet. She opened the closet and she shut the door, and her and my sister sat there, and she put her hands on my sister's mouth, and they hid in the closet. Now, how this house was designed was, like I said, the kitchen was right towards the back of the living room, and to the left, when you first come in the front door, there was a hallway. Now, down that hallway on the left side facing the front of the house were my 2 older sisters' rooms, and then on the corner of the house there was our bedroom where me and my brother shared a room, and then there's a bathroom right there in the front. But then how this house was, it was weird to where there was another bigger bathroom. That bathroom had 2 entryways that it went from one end of the house to the other. So she heard the man walking, going through looking in my sister's room, Then she heard him go and look into the little bathroom. Then she heard him go around and go into the bigger bathroom, which took him to the other side of the house. He went to my parents' room. Then he went to the other side of the room where the washroom was. Then he went to the den, and she could hear him walking around the whole house looking. And he was looking for something. He was trying to find something. And they were right there by the front door in that closet, the coat closet. And she said she could feel him stop right there where the kitchen was. And he stopped. And he looked over. And he was looking at that closet. He checked everywhere in the house but that closet. This man knew they were there. He checked everywhere. And she said she could feel him looking at the closet. And then she heard footsteps walking towards the closet. On the carpet, she heard her man's footsteps walking towards the closet. She said then she heard a hand grab the doorknob of the closet where they were hiding. And the closet and the doorknob slowly started to turn, and they started open. And then she heard a car pull up. It was my mother pulling back home. And then immediately she heard the guy push the doors back shut, run down the hallway, run back to the window, and go out the window. After this, she came out the closet and just kept on, my mother came in. She never told my mother what happened. Never said a word about what happened. And that's it. And of course, this does conclude the story of the man in the window. I will be telling you more exciting stories that, like I said, that I've experienced or have heard. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and to share this channel, these stories, these videos. This is the Bespoke Gentleman. Peace.
Hi, neighbor. I'm glad we're together again.